Great. So at this point, with travel restrictions and other COVID-19 regulations, the trial may not even start in time for the 20th anniversary of those terror attacks next September. What's it been like for you with all of this waiting, trying to get justice for your husband and for the other families?
It's been very frustrating. It goes from frustration to anger. And now I would say there's a lot of sadness around it because 9/11 family members are dying and never seeing the justice for their family members, like my father-in-law who passed away this spring. So my heart breaks for the families that will never receive justice. But I've been down to Gitmo and I've met the prosecution team, and I have tremendous faith and confidence in them that they're going to get the job done.
For those in our audience who may not be familiar with your story, tell us a little bit about your husband and what 9/11 was like for you.
Yeah. Well, Tom was a wonderful man, a charismatic man that I met when I was 19 years old. He was an avid fisherman, a great golfer, and he worked on Wall Street. He worked for Cantor Fitzgerald, and he was on the 104th floor on the 11th. And I was home with the children. They were 7, 4, and 4 days old when the phone rang, and he was on the other line, on the other side, and said, "Hey, the building's been hit by a plane." And it wasn't on the TV set yet. I was standing right in front of the television, and I didn't know what exactly was happening. I thought it was a small airplane. And there was a lot of screaming and commotion going on in the background, and it really did sound horrific. And he said he was going to try to get to the roof and hope to be rescued. And that was the last time I ever heard from him.
My heart truly does go out to you. It's truly heartbreaking to hear. And then when we look at these trials, one thing is conspicuously missing, and that is Saudi Arabia. That's, a country we don't really bring it up so much in connection with 9/11, even though most of the hijackers were Saudi, Osama bin Laden himself as well. You've written extensively about holding the Saudi kingdom accountable. What would you like to see happen there?
Well, I'd like to see the truth, the entire truth, to come out. And I would like to see President Trump keep the promise that he made to the 9/11 families. A year ago, on the anniversary of the 11th, we went down to the White House, and he promised that he would release documents and evidence that we've been asking for. And it didn't quite happen that way. We did receive 3 names, 3 agents that worked for the kingdom, but the rest of the evidence has been kept from us because the Department of Justice and the FBI have buried everything. And they don't believe that the American people have a right to know, that the 9/11 community has a right to know. And it is a travesty what is happening. So I would definitely like to see the president. He's got 60 days at least left in the White House, hopefully longer. And he could be a tremendous hero to the families if he would keep his promise and release some of these documents. All of the documents.
And when it comes to these departments, I know it's been a battle for you going back and forth with letters. Do you have any inference as to why they're withholding a lot of these documents?
No, that is $1 million question. Beyond letters that we've written, we served a subpoena on them back in March of 2018. So we are over 2.5 years asking for the evidence, there was a 10-year secret investigation called Operation Encore, and that holds a lot of the truths that we've been asking for. And the DOJ has decided that we are not entitled to knowing the truth. And they've decided to keep it buried from us, from the American people, and from the world. But we are fighting it. I mean, it is a subpoena, and we do believe we're going to continue pressing it and get more of the information.